Hey guys, how's it going? Tweeters, YouTubers, etc. I think a lot of you may have seen me tweeting recently a lot about Bitcoin and digital currencies and whatnot. And I thought I would take a minute to go over a few of these things that I've been realizing and researching, and so maybe you can also benefit and prosper in 2018. Um, as these digital currencies become a bigger and bigger thing. I know a lot of you have heard of Bitcoin before, and it's kind of been growing for the last, I don't know, 9 years. And if you're like me, you spend a lot of time on the sidelines just kind of shaking your head and not knowing what to think of it all. Um, just so happens 2 or 3 months ago, I decided to pull the trigger and just start buying digital currencies. Um, I got started the way most people start. Went on Coinbase and I bought Bitcoin, I bought Ethereum, and I bought Litecoin, and I just decided to see what would happen. Um, Slowly increasing the amount of buying I did and the amount of exchanges that I was involved in. Um, until now, I think I have, even after yesterday's crash, which is part of why I'm doing this video. Um, Even after yesterday's crash, I think I have a quarter of a Bitcoin, which is like four grand or something. So I've managed to save a lot of money by putting my money into Bitcoin and only spending it when I really need to, and then not having to spend as much because Bitcoin has conveniently increased in value. So I've managed to create a small stack of digital currency, a humble stack of digital currency. And I just wanted to let you guys know what I think about the future of digital currencies in 2018. Um, so recently we've had a giant crash. By the way, I'm going to end this video with the top 10 of my favorite cryptocurrencies, but I just wanted to say we've had a slight crash at the end of 2018 or 2017 as Bitcoin and a lot of has had a lot of recent adjustments and changes. Uh, Bitcoin Cash has recently jumped on the Coinbase, along with a lot of mixed press about what the real Bitcoin is. Is it Bitcoin Cash? Is it Bitcoin, etc. Um, this is, of course, just a narrative put forward by the people who, I guess, are more involved in Bitcoin Cash right now than they are in Bitcoin. But I think the most popular coin by far is still Bitcoin. Um, but anyways, all that drama aside, I think it brings it brings up a lot of questions as to where is Bitcoin going to go in 2018. Um, there are a lot of features that people want to see implemented more, either in Bitcoin itself or on the exchanges such as SegWits or Lightning transactions. These are just buzzwords for cheaper transactions, right, on the network. Basically, transactions between digital currencies that don't take place on the actual chain, but off the chain. Um, but I think the 800-pound gorilla in the room is not just this, but the whole mining thing. Bitcoin has a bit of an issue right now with the centralization of its miners. Recently, it's becoming more and more centralized in China. I think it's 60%. And if Bitcoin Cash becomes bigger, as Bitcoin Cash becomes bigger and bigger, I think it'll be more centralized around these areas. So I think it's an issue that we have to look into. And I think one of the key factors is finding coins that are going to be ASIC resistant, or at least ASIC resistant, if not ASIC free. I think Bytecoin might be one of them. And this just means basically somebody can't they can't have these computers that are built just to mine Bitcoin. Um, it would open it up for regular day people to mine Bitcoin with their laptops or their GPUs, etc., which I think is the future of these currencies. So, without further ado, I'm just going to quickly name my favorite 10 cryptocurrencies for 2018, and hopefully some of you can use that information to either invest or not invest. And then I'll be talking about each of these currencies. So number 10 on my list, furthest down, is Stratis coin. This is a Bitcoin. This is like a Bitcoin homage coin in C#, Microsoft coin, from what I can tell. It has, I mean, not made by Microsoft, but made to work with Microsoft technology, and therefore somewhat supported, or appearing to be supported, and partnered with Microsoft. I don't think there's anything super official yet. But Stratis coin is an extremely exciting coin because of its .NET base. It looks like a fun coin to work on, etc. That's one of the reasons I like it a lot, why I invested in it for a lot of 2017. I only recently pulled out my Litecoin my Stratis coin stake, just because I'm trying to pare down how many coins I'm invested in. But I do plan on going back into Stratis, especially when I start working with it more, which is another reason I pulled out, because I don't have time to work with it. But Stratis coin looks amazingly fun to work with and amazingly useful and powerful. And their website, all their information looks to be very upfront, and they look very busy. So I like Stratis coin a lot. I think it's just hitting the $1 billion market cap. I think it's about $10 a coin right now. It's been around there for about a month. Great looking coin. I'm very excited for it, Stratis coin. Next on my list is number 9 is Ethereum. I know maybe it should be a lot higher, but I'm trying to control expectations here. Ethereum has shown a tremendous amount of growth as a cryptocurrency in the past year, going from relative obscurity to basically the second most valuable cryptocurrency on the market, with a $94 billion market cap at one point this year. Ethereum is amazing. It is by far the most technically impressive coin out there, just by what it's done. I mean, it's managed to basically give birth to maybe 1,000 cryptocurrencies currently. I think there are 1,000 out there, at least. Anybody can create a cryptocurrency on the Ethereum blockchain. In fact, I've created one myself called Litecoin. Sorry, not Litecoin. I wish I created Litecoin. It's called Crypto Life. Yeah, that's right. Crypto Life. I've got 10 million of these coins, and I can distribute them or sell them or whatever I want to do. I created a website for them. I screwed around a little bit, have not actually distributed any yet. But anyways, anybody can create a cryptocurrency on the Ethereum blockchain. This tends to make me think that it could be overbought. And it's a very scary time, I think, for Ethereum. It's still very slow, but a lot of things are going on. You know, there's an entire exchange built on the Ethereum blockchain. Many exciting coins are using the Ethereum blockchain and living on the Ethereum space. And I'll even actually mention a couple of those coins as we go through the list. So actually, some of the coins that are living on Ethereum also made the list for me. So I really like Ethereum. I think it's got a lot of good projects out there. I'll just name a few off the top of my head. The Raiden Network, Golem, Funfair, those are just some off the top of my head. Great projects. Oh, the Basic Attention Token, from what I understand, is great as well. So a lot of stuff coming from Ethereum. However, because it's one of these grand scope ideas, very technology based, I can see it going the other direction. I mean, if it ends up being a technology that isn't advanced quick enough or doesn't get over the hurdles, a lot of these great coins could end up, switching their code base from Ethereum code to some other coin's code. It could happen. We hope not, but let's be realistic here. Ethereum looks great. Number 8 on my list is forks, just forks in general. A lot of coins are forking off of Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Super Bitcoin, Bitcoin Gold, etc. Whatever you want to say about what's happening with Coinbase and where these coins are showing up, you have to love the fact that they're trying to improve upon Bitcoin. And there is a good possibility that from one of these forks, changes can be moved back into Bitcoin and we can see Bitcoin prosper. I think that is the most important thing of all. We need to see Bitcoin at number 1 from now until doomsday. That's part of the whole unspoken rule. Bitcoin is the first mover, but it's also got a lot of emotional attachment for people, and people really want to see it succeed. And that means that the forks, we have to take an interest in them. We have to be somewhat interested. Maybe you don't have to buy a Bitcoin Cash because, there's a lot of drama around that coin. But I would still look at other forks of Bitcoin and see what could be used. Now, whether or not those forks actually fork the entire database and give everybody who owns Bitcoin free coins, or whether they just create a new coin that's a fork, just such as Litecoin. That's what Litecoin did. That's my preferred method. I really don't prefer that people clone my wallet and then tell me I have another coin. To me, that's a little ridiculous. But that's what people have chosen to do. It's obviously very popular. Hopefully we can see some prosperity from it. That's why Forks is number 8 for me. Number 7 is a coin called Iota, and Iota stands for the Internet of Things. This is an exciting coin. I've heard about the Internet of Things for a while, like many people, and if you're going to have an Internet of Things, might as well have a coin that goes with the Internet of Things, and the Iota is the leader. So take that for what it's worth. Buy Iota. So far, it seems to be performing very well. I love their website. I love all the information they have about the Internet of Things. I've never worked with the Internet of Things. I don't know what exactly it is, but it sounds cool. So I hope Iota makes it, and we all get to reap the benefits. I believe in a world where multiple currencies can survive and prosper, obviously, so I also support Iota. I don't own any right now, but my wife does. So we're kind of pulling for that coin too. Number 6, Monero. Monero is like that coin that is just like, been hovering around number 8 through 10, and nobody really knows quite what's to make of it. From what I understand, I think it's ASIC resistant, which is important, and I think it has a future. A lot of these mineable coins are very much undervalued. If it's mined, then that means that somebody cared enough to run a server and mine the coin and then hold on to it and then sell it or keep it. So I think that's a reason to keep an eye on Monero, and a lot of people really seem to respect it. And that's kind of where my respect comes from. I've never owned one. My wife has never owned one. But I put it on number 6 on my list just because I don't want to be that guy who didn't mention Monero. Number 5 is TIX. TIX is an Ethereum-based token that is supposedly supposed to revolutionize the world of ticket buying and ticket sales, events, whatnot. They're actually planning to have their own events this year in 2018, and it just looks like a really awesome, overdue idea. Um, whether or not it will continue to succeed, or even whether or not, well, I'm pretty sure it's an Ethereum project. I think it's just hardcore Ethereum. It's not going to go anywhere. But um, what exactly they plan to do, I don't know, and how far it'll go, I don't know. But it's extremely, extremely exciting and probably undervalued. I could see this being a billion-dollar coin um, for the entire market cap. $1 billion or more. Um, and I think right now it's only $1.40 a coin or something. So it's really undervalued. I think going into 2018, a lot of room for growth there. Same with Power Ledger. Another new coin that is on the Ethereum blockchain is like Uber for solar panels and that kind of thing. It's really unclear exactly how environmentally friendly what they're going to do is, but that's the direction they're trying to go, and therefore I think Power Ledger is one of the most exciting coins. As far as mining goes and this proof of work thing, the proof of work mining, it leaves a lot to be desired. Bitcoin and all these other coins basically are producing these random hashes as their value. And that's great if all you care about is money, I guess, because then the money has value and all these other things don't, or whatever. But I think as we figure out things that are other than just the random hashes as proof of works for coins, I think we could start to solve the world's problems in different ways. I think one day, very soon, we're going to be able to change on the fly what cryptocurrencies we use in day-to-day purchases and on our phones, and then just swipe our card, etc. And I think that's the future. So Power Ledger fits very well into that future, and for that reason, it's a great coin. I put it number 4 on my list. Number 3, Litecoin. I'm just excited about Litecoin. I bought in at $44. I only very recently sold all my Litecoin for more Bitcoin. And that's because I kind of fear the crash like everybody else. I plan on buying my Litecoin back. But Litecoin looks amazing to me. I think this is somewhat ASIC resistant, but it's a counter to Bitcoin. It's well known, and the guy who invented it, Charlie Lee, he's got a great personality. I think, even though I think he just recently sold all his Litecoin. But Litecoin looks exciting to me. It's supposed to be silver to Bitcoin's gold, and I think the most important part about Litecoin is it wants to play well within the ecosystem. It wants to support SegWits and Lightning transactions, and it wants to work with Bitcoin. It wants to be silver to Bitcoin's gold. It doesn't want to attack Bitcoin. It's politically, it's a great, great coin. And it has a founder or inventor who isn't in the shadows like Satoshi Nakamoto. It's out in the open. So for that reason, I would put it as number 3 on my list. All of these advices are based on what I think, how valuable I think they'll be in 2018. So they're becoming more valuable as we move up. Number 2 on my list is Bitcoin. I think this coin is the original coin, and it is only going to increase in value by leaps and bounds. It's absolutely parabolic trajectory that you can look up people like Parabolic Trav to tell you all about that, but it is just headed for the moon. It is absolutely, absolutely virally sought after. For that reason alone, one should try to hold at least, a fraction of a Bitcoin one right of the decimal, if not a full Bitcoin. Try to keep it within a decimal of some sort. I mean, if you can't do it. I mean, it's expensive. Um, you could try hedging your bets on an altcoin and then moving into Bitcoin, but good luck for the most part, because Bitcoin's parabolic trajectory is so fast, and it is very, very hard to keep up with. I've talked to a few traders and people that trade coins and whatnot, and they stop doing it because they just can't keep up with Bitcoin. They just buy the coins they care about, and that's it. And that's what I suggest people do. But and that's why you should hold some Bitcoin, because it does increase in value. My last coin is Groestlcoin, #1 coin. I just like it. I found out about this coin, and I think it was number 130 at the time on the list. Now it's in the top 100. I've only known about it since a few weeks after I started getting interested in these coins. This is a few weeks after I started actually investing. So it basically has zero penetration in the public sphere. Really flying under the radar right now. It's a ASIC resistant coin, which is probably the most important part about it. It's it's definitely in the Bitcoin family. It is most closely related, I think, to Bitcoin or Litecoin. I don't think it's forked off of Litecoin, but it's going down the same route as Litecoin. It's trying to play well in the sphere, and it's based on some hashing algorithm called the Groestel algorithm, and that basically means hash in German, and that's, I guess, interesting. But I think the most interesting part about it is that it's ASIC resistant, it's extremely cheap, and probably undervalued. It's only $2 a coin right now, and I can see that coin going up to $100 end of 2018. So that's a great reason to hang on to a couple of those. I mean, if you just had a few, and it ever became a top 10 coin, that can pay your grocery bills for the rest of your life. No. But no, it's a great coin. So yeah, Groestlcoin, and that's it. That's my top 10. Hope this didn't go on too long. Talk to you guys later.